On the show?
See, now there's a download button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Today.
told me
I
that
talked to
last
her
night.
last night.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. We are live. Hi, guys. We're going to do a
Just
little,
send it to John.
we're going to do a little rapid. What's right? Hi, guys. Let me know any questions you guys have. I got some fun questions to go down. I think I put them on my story here. Mary, what's a happening? What's a happening? Hot stuff. What move's that from?
Come on, Mo.
16 Candles.
Is it?
Yeah.
I see it's this kid.
Yeah, it was. What was the Asian guy's name? Some young guy, wasn't it?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see 16 Candles? I'm going to tell Bryce. I'm going to tell
No,
Bryce you haven't seen that one either.
No, bro, don't tell me that.
Hey, guys. What do we got?
Who watches this?
I ain't what the fuck?
What are you watching?
This is way before my time.
16 Candles?
It wasn't even in his father's cojones.
Cojones.
82?
82.
84.
Oh.
It was like
16 Candles 84?
Yeah. It
Wow.
released 84.
Yeah.
So,
83.
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald, I think, isn't it?
It's Molly Ringwald.
I think
Paul Dooley.
Robert Downey Jr.'s in it, I think.
Justin Henry.
Keep going on the list.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall was everything.
Produced by John Hughes. Don't tell Bryce, for real.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? Who got their training in today? Give me that one. Who got their training in? Because I know this guy's going to get his training in right there. Look at that.
What's going on, guys?
Superstar.
Can't hear them.
You can't hear me? Am I muted?
Oh, I can hear you now.
All right. All right. All right. Johnny, rapid questions.
What's he got there?
What do you got your meal? I like that.
Let's see the meal.
Let's see the
man.
meal, dog. Don't be hiding that stuff.
Chicken, potatoes.
I could have told you what he's eating.
This is what I eat every single day. Every single day.
Look at him. Look at him.
Oh, it's man.
All right. Let's see where's my questions. Johnny, when we talk about upping your testosterone level and using foods like steak or other
Mhm.
possibilities, is there a list that you kind of have to boost your testosterone?
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
supplementation only, or nutrition and both?
I think both. Honestly, I think nutrition's one factor, right? I mean, taking in different foods or some substances can actually lower testosterone levels. So we know if we're healthier, right, we're doing a healthier lifestyle, then our levels should be better per se. All red meats, to me, as far as that goes, I think would help boost testosterone because when we talk about testosterone, where does it originate from? And it's cholesterol. That's where testosterone originates from. That's the originator. So at that point, want to look at those good cholesterols, bad cholesterols. But meat, we're talking about red meat, steak especially, is good in cholesterol. Now, depending on the cut you get, might be higher, saturated fats and cholesterol, but you're going to get some good cholesterol out of it and those good fats. And at that point, that's where it kind of stems from. So that would be my take, would be red meats. Like if I was going to raise my testosterone levels or I was thinking about doing it naturally, I would go with, a carnivore diet per se. And then at that point, retest. Now, diet is not going to get you from 200 to 900. I don't care. You can eat all the superfoods in the world and your diet's on point to 1,000,000%. I've never seen anybody do that kind of a jump. 100 points, 150 points, definitely. I think that people can raise their levels that much. But at that point, it's going to deteriorate every year. 1% after 30 is what they say. And even more, depending on where your level's at, depending on where you're going to go. So, really it depends on the person. I guess getting that baseline, seeing what's going on. And then if you say, hey, listen, I don't want to take testosterone. So why don't we try something different? Clean up your diet, start doing a carnivore diet, and then retest same time, right? In the morning or at night, whatever you're doing the blood test, and test it exactly the same way. And I think if you do that, you're going to get some, you're going to get some more data back at where it really looks like, where your level's at, and where it's going to start, tearing off at.
That I think that it's funny because it's, again, I think lifestyle has a lot to do with it and how you train. And again, if you are eating well and you have that Titan lifestyle, you'll be able to keep your testosterone at obviously at a higher level than the twin of you that's sitting on the couch eating Doritos all the time.
Right.
So, you got the two individuals. And I love the old Vince Garandi talking about nutrition and training. I'm going to pull Jeffrey. Jeffrey, give me that little old school Vince Garanda.
He's known for creating the steak and eggs diet.
Yes.
That's one of his
Oh,
What year was that? What year did he come out? He had to be that late 60s, 70s.
60s, right?
Yeah,
I think it was like
65.
Already knew then that you could bump up your testosterone by eating a certain way. I love that.
And like fats, like big fats, like butter, cream, half and half, red meat. He's big on all of that.
And he's huge again. Cholesterol, eggs.
Cholesterol.
One of
That's
his
the main
big,
thing, right?
is
Three dozen a day.
Wow.
crazy.
Damn, I want to eat 3 dozen eggs a day. That's good.
Right. Obviously, you don't have to do that level. You don't have to do that. But the point I just wanted to make for everybody that's here today is that your nutrition does play a role.
Absolutely.
And so if you change your nutrition, boom, you're up another level. You train correctly and enough during the week to stimulate the body. Again, you're bumping it. Then let's optimize it with Titan Medical and see what your blood work is and see what they can do. And now you just bump three folds
Yes.
from where you're at right now, three folds. And so you're talking about, hey, I want to change. Well, I just change the one. Well, let's change all three this week. Let's start to level up a little bit, everybody. We got 3 weeks to the Olympia. So let's level up today and go change the nutrition, check your blood. And like what Johnny said, check it at the same time, change your nutrition and test it again.
Yep.
So I just really want to jump on that one this morning. How do you make your So the next question is, how do you make sure you have optimal nutrition and vitamin levels?
Okay.
That's actually a good one for you, Johnny.
Question. Yeah, for sure. So optimal nutrition, right? You need to get so much of your macros in, your protein, your fats, and your carbohydrates. That's one thing we need to look at, right? But, in your foods of the day, how do you know you're getting enough vitamins, and let's say amino acids, what the body needs per day? And it's kind of tough, right? Unless you're like the best eater out there and you got all the time in the day to really plan your foods. It's kind of tough to get everything that you need. And that's where supplementation really comes into play. Right? That's where Titan Medical's injectable vitamin, amino acids might come help you. And then testing to see where these things are at, right? Because, when we start looking at it, we can start really like looking at different vitamins we want, different amino acids through blood testing and see where those levels are at. But I think that, getting your nutrition on point to where you're eating healthy meals, let's say 3 to 4 meals a day, just starting at 3 if you're just getting started, get those 3 meals in and then start, when you're hungrier, you can have a 4th or 5th meal. But at that point, making sure it's a healthy meal, right? Getting those balance of the macros that we talked about. And then at that point, getting, enough fruit, which also in turns would be fiber too, as well, that you need to add to the diet, that roughage. I mean, I was talking about that today and like, for us, it's like 30 grams, like for a guy, that's what's optimal. 30 grams of fiber per day. And for girls, it's 22 grams. For the average American right now, we only get 18 grams. So
that's better than I thought it would be. That's way better than I thought it would be.
That's what the average is. Yeah. And I'll send you over the study on it, because I was just reading the study before my live about it, which is really, really cool, because people are like, listen, how do I get fiber in my diet? And we started talking about like flaxseed. And then we started talking about like, like different fruits that you could get it from. Like apple has 5 grams of fiber per apple, right? And that might be different from the smaller size to a bigger size. 6 grams from a pear, and I love pears. So right there, you've got some of the right off the bat. And then, you can start looking into different things too, as well, like supplementation that for Fiberlize, where you can like put it right into a drink and drink fiber down. Like I know people do that, like older people and stuff like that. Miralax, like different things to get you to go. I think that's a big thing. And obviously, like, having your vitamins and everything on point. Like even we're talking about, like we've talked about it many times, vitamin D, which isn't really a vitamin, it's a hormone, but at that point, making sure that's a good level. And and the way that we usually get vitamin D is from foods, or they say from sunlight. Get 15 minutes of sunlight every day and you should be good, is what they say. But I mean, I put that out there for a challenge for anybody out there. Go ahead and see how much sun you can get, and then blood test and see what your vitamin D level is at. Majority of people come back low or deficient on vitamin D levels every single time. And they could be on vacation for a whole week, went outside with no sunscreen and got all the sun in the world, and it just didn't convert in their body like it should have. So this is something that, you need to look at, right? And if you have anything off, it could be causing you issues. You might not even know it's off, or you might not have a provider that's even looking for these things. They might just tell you to change your diet, get a good diet. But even that, a general practitioner, whether it's an APRN or a medical doctor or DO, I mean, most of these people have no nutritional knowledge. So they couldn't even tell you what to eat. I remember a doctor telling a person asked me, hey, listen, what should I eat for weight loss, doctor, with these medications that I'm taking? You know what that doctor said? I want to slap him upside his head.
McDonald's?
No, he told him to eat soup slowly.
Well, okay, there you go. All right. I like these doctors. Yeah. Have your protein and then eat your carbohydrates, then take in your fat. And then you take it in 10 minutes apart and then have warm water with some lemon.
Yeah. He goes, eat it slowly. And then I go, why would you tell that patient that? Like, that's not like optimal for weight loss. He's like, well, because, if they eat it slowly, they become fuller faster. I'm like, that's great, but they're getting no nutrition out of this. Were you just telling?
Oh man, I'd be eating the what is it, Boyardee or the Chucky beef ones? Yeah. That's what I'd be eating. Doc, you said I could lose weight on this. I'm getting 400 grams of protein with that beef.
And how many grams how much milligrams of sodium you get in that?
Right.
You look like a balloon the next day.
Johnny is so nice. That's the one thing. Johnny is very, very nice about this. For me to answer the question, how do you know you're doing optimal nutrition? You're getting stronger. You're looking different every couple of weeks. That kind of tells you what it is. Strength is a very good gauge on that. You're training enough, but not too much. But you're also you're taking enough calories. So that's one way to do it. Now, how do you know they're getting enough vitamin levels? Honestly, I don't think you do. I think there's no way except to get some blood work like I did, and it woke my ass up after doing supplementation for decades. Yeah. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, when I do this test, I'm going to be top notch everything. And I came back and I take my vitamins. I take my aminos. You guys see the drink every day. Yeah. Still low. Yeah. So I think do the blood work. The blood work so you can kind of see what you're doing, and then check the total blood work on if the nutrition is treating you right, and the supplementation is treating you right. So that's the third fold to this question. Good question though.
Yeah, no, great question.
Okay, so how do I balance weight training and aerobic training? How do I balance that out?
I mean, balance for me, I guess, would set your weight training days, and on your off days, maybe do your cardiovascular training, your anaerobic training. You could do it same day too, I guess. What I would do though is I would do my weightlifting training first, because I wouldn't want to fatigue the muscles that I'm trying to really put some real major effort into, and then do some cardiovascular training afterwards. That's how I would lay it out. And I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't do any cardiovascular training, so at that point, it's bad for my heart. I should probably be doing cardiovascular training for my heart. But as far as what I do and stuff like that, I would burn too many calories. I just burn way too many calories, and I can't get enough food in my day right now to be able to grow like I want to. So if I start burning calories like crazy and using my body as a furnace, then I'm just going to go into a deficit. And, at that point, like, I don't want to do that. So that's kind of what it was. Cause I was a big runner all the way up until I was like, maybe like 21, 22. And at that point, the guy
What
told
were you
me,
running from?
no, I was just a runner. I love to run.
I don't know, John. Jeff, you got any input on that one? He was running from something. He's running from club to club, I think.
That's right. I was right. But a guy that really taught me he really opened up my eyes, right? He taught me to eat clean for sure. Because at that point I was training really hard and I was training with him and he was like professional. Like, and he was like, dude, you're eating McDonald's. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, you go in there and bust your butt for an hour and a half with me. And this is what you want to feed yourself to recover. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. So that was one big eye opener for me, like right off the bat. I'm like, nutrition wise, but at the other aspect, it's like, you got to be consistent about things too. And that's kind of what he taught me, to be consistent on these different things.
I agree with Johnny on this. The question was, again, how do you balance weight training with aerobic training? And for me, I think whatever plan that you're on, there'd be, if it's off season, you wouldn't do the aerobic training. And if you're getting in shape, then you're doing the aerobic training along with it. And like Johnny said, I weight lift first, then cardiovascular after.
And the thing about it was when he told me, I'm sorry if you're off from me, but he told me, he's like, hey, he's like, cut out cardio. Don't do it anymore. He's like, you'll start gaining real quick. And that's kind of what happened to me for sure.
I think the new age kids believe that you have to do cardio. I think they're scared. That opened up a can of worms. I think everybody's scared nowadays about everything, and so I think it's interesting to see a basics, pencil neck, skinny guy write on my page. Oh, you see, you don't do cardio. And it's like, you're 20 years old, $105. Are you worried about your heart? Holy sheesh!
Right.
Interesting. Misinformed again. They don't know because they don't know.
Or they
Yep.
don't
Ignorant, uneducated.
Okay. This is a young lady, and she would like to know how to get lean and muscular as a female, but not swole. Tips, please.
Weight train. I mean, that's a big one. Weight train, protein, get that diet on point, get the carbs in. I mean, you don't have to go crazy, and just because I'm saying weight train doesn't mean that you're going to blow up and get jacked. I think that's the common misperception with females, and it always has been. I mean, for like
Isn't
last
the
12 years.
misconception with males as well, though?
Well, yeah, I guess so too.
You've seen guys going to the gym for years training and they don't get swole.
This is true. This is very true. That's a common misperception from people that think that they're going to go to the gym and start weight training for a year, and they're going to turn to Arnold Schwarzenegger or one of these female bodybuilders. It ain't going to happen, guys. One, your genetics probably ain't that good, and two, these guys, especially now, I mean, it's chemical warfare where some of these ladies are taking a lot of stuff, which is getting them to the point that they're getting, I guess, And right now, it's bigger is better and freakier is better, and that just is what it is.
Yeah, I think great answer. You're not going to get swole. Diet, like Johnny said, and weight train. And this is not just, I know that this individual is a woman and she asked specifically for women. Well, look, I said specifically. Don't ask me to spell it. But I think it's for guys and girls. Again, it takes time. We're not saying you can't get swole. You can't get jacked. But it takes time and it takes calorie intake. So if she's not trying to get swole, just taking the proper amount of calorie intake to where she gets leaner and retains her muscle. So it looks even more appealing to her.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely gain muscle and burn fat at the same time, guys. I mean, and listen, weightlifting is the best thing for you because we know that weightlifting burns more calories than doing cardiovascular training. As far as that goes, the more muscle you have, the more fat you're going to burn in your body too, as well. So, I mean, weight training is definitely the way to go. I think this has been proven over and over and over. And I think that everybody needs to embrace that and just be quiet, put your head down, go in the gym and start doing some weight training. And you don't have to go lifting 1,000,000 pounds, but go do some work.
Be patient. Be patient.
Patience is the key.
Johnny, next question here is from a young man that says, Big John, I would like to know the best way to grow my leg, and he used this word, to grow wide legs.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you just want to get big legs.
Yeah, you want to get big legs, but he used the word wide. I've never heard that term for legs.
Wide legs.
Yeah. Right. A cowboy, I guess. Well, what's your take on that?
To get bigger legs. have to
Yes. What
train
is
legs.
your go-to?
So my go-to for therapy wise or training wise?
Oh, I think all the above. I think therapy, food, training.
Oh, dude, well, food obviously gonna have to add in the calories. So you're gonna have to eat. You have to put some more calories in the body so it can build. That's one thing. So don't go in a calorie deficit, then you're gonna build big legs, especially big wide legs, right? You definitely want to hit that. Now, when me and Mike were talking last week, we were talking about kind of recovery days. And, I've kind of changed it up. In the beginning, this is what I used to do, Mike, is, now I've given myself 7 days to recover. Let's say I do chest on Monday and then I go the next Monday and go do it, right? But in the earlier days,
Well, did you record this? You got that on tape? I'm holding them to that one. Keep going.
yeah, this is what we said, right? But before, like what I used to do in my training before, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna start implementing this. I just started this week again. Was any body parts that I really want to develop even more, or might be lagging body parts, as long as I'm recovering faster, then I'll hit it a second day. So like this week, I did Monday where I did chest and back. Well, Friday, because I trained every day last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm like, man, this is my 5th day. Hell yeah. I was like, let me work on some of these different body parts that, listen, I want to make it a little bit better. So that's when I started going. I did a little bit. I did 2 more exercises for chest. I did 2 more exercises for back. And I'm working these muscles a little bit more. And, somebody might say, well, you don't get enough recovery time. Well, here's the difference between me and maybe you as a person out there. Me, I am on HRT, right? And testosterone will help you recover faster. So you can train harder and more frequently, right? Now, if you're really sore is crap and, it's not just hurting, give yourself the extra day or so. But for me, I'm like, I'm feeling good. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go hit this. As long as you're feeling good, I think that's the key to really work on or to think about. Like, so that's kind of what I've been doing this week. I'm like, well, last week and then this week I'll start for the next 3 weeks until I get to Olympia just to work on it. But that's what I would do. I would work out the body part maybe twice a week if you can, and really get in there and really develop it. The legs, especially, because legs sometimes they grow for people and they're harder for other people, especially calves. Calves, I think it's a genetic thing. I mean, because I've seen guys just work their calves to death. Because when you think about 2 muscle groups that you can work every day, it's abs and calves, they say. So they say you can work abs and calves every single day. I don't know about that if you're so super sore, especially if you're a super strong leg day and you're involving calves and you're doing like 3 exercises of calves and you're really, really just destroying them. The next day you're like limping, walking around. So I don't know about doing them the next day after that, but those are 2 things. So I would say, listen, if you really want to get big legs or you want to get any other body part really, really big, make sure you're recovering, yes, but try to hit it 2 times a week. I think you'll get some more development there.
I like that. I like what he's saying. And let's stay on that for a second, because again, one of the big things is if you are doing HRT and let's say you guys are over at Titan Medical and you're working with them, feel free. I would call up and say, hey, I'd like to train more. Am I on the right protocol for me to want to train more? I got a triathlon I'm getting ready for. I'm getting ready for my 30th anniversary. It's whatever it is. Give them a call and see what they can do to help you recover better. Because remember, there's so many other things that are over there at Titan Medical that can help you recover, like the Hercules potion, the EAAs, everything. So take it to the next level. Have that moment.
Absolutely.
And ignore the trainers at the gym or social media going, you need to take this many days off. At a certain point, go crazy, have fun with it. And again, when I get ready for this last movie we did, I was training 12 times a week. Well, wait a minute, there's only 7 days in a week. Son, I was going twice a day.
Yeah, 2 days, 2 days.
And 6 days, 1 day off. And Jeff would say, and the game plan was 1 day off. And then Jeff would say, what time tomorrow? I go, no, I'm taking it off. Okay, just text me when you know what time. Yes, that's how we roll over here. So I would like to take the days off and stuff, but there's times to go ballistic. Have fun with that.
Absolutely.
Have fun with it. And Johnny's stepping up the next level. And that's what I got to do too this next 3 weeks, getting ready for the Olympia. Booth 732, Titan Medical at the Olympia. Just look for Look for the stage.
Look for us on the stage. You should see us on a high-rise stage, man. So look at us. We'll be above everybody
Yeah.
else.
Look for the line. Look for the line.
And the big Titan magazine cover in the background.
With that being said, that ran out of questions on my question, Jeffrey. Do you have any questions for Johnny?
We are blown up here.
And I want to re-say again, when you do work with Titan Medical or something like that, you can train more than the average person. So you utilize that recovery, that you're recovering quicker. And then I love what Johnny said about stop the program. Monday's chest, Tuesday's arms, back is Wednesday. Pick your body parts that are weak.
Yep.
Legs are weak on you, Monday and Friday or Saturday. Do it,
Absolutely.
on Friday. You got no arms, do it again on Tuesday and Saturday.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
put them in there.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's been a game changer for sure. I mean, you remember the old Rich Piana videos, even Jim Stepani, like he'll tell you, like, I remember Piana, he said, like, the ultimate arm workout is like, you want to go your arms bigger. He's like, go home every night, get a dumbbell that's 10 pounds and do 100 of those things. Knock them out until you can't bring up your arm anymore. And it's true, right? But day after day, you want to give yourself some rest, I guess, for that muscle to recover and to repair and to get bigger. Unless you're on HRT or something like that, that's going to expedite your results as far as recovery and being able to train like that. So, but it's doable. I don't know about doing it every day, but 2 times a week for sure.
But the concept is there. Go crazy.
Absolutely.
Throw the
Absolutely.
rule book. Throw the rule book out. Do
Absolutely.
something that you like. If you want to do it, do it. You guys know when it comes to getting ready for a show for me, I'll purposely train the abs every day to overtrain them, to cause atrophy,
Yes.
to get that small waist after lifting for 45 years on exercises that are supposed to thicken your waist. So, it's like you throw the rule book out. It doesn't work the same for everybody.
That's just true.
Jeffrey.
Hey Mike, tell me, are you familiar with tendinopathy of the ligaments, and how do you cope with it?
I do not.
I do know what it is.
Go for it.
So basically, like, this is a condition in which tissue connecting muscles to bone becomes inflamed. That's what this is. So you're getting inflammation, right?
Yeah.
Of the ligaments. So what do we want to do? We want to get anti-inflammation, right? We want to get something to take away the inflammation. So there's a couple different ways you can go with this. One's BPC and TB500. This is teed up for that. Like, you want to take away inflammation, you want to help out this, those are going to be the main ones I would go with. After that, glutathione's great for taking away inflammation too as well. So those will probably be my go-to. Without taking like any NSAIDs or anything like that, like the Clofenac or anything like that. I would stay away from those if you possibly can, and then go with something like BPC and TB500, where it's going to take that inflammation out. And at that point, you'll feel a lot better, because obviously inflammation in those connecting tissues like that is not going to feel good whatsoever. And it actually creates like a burning sensation for a lot of patients.
I like that. Great answer.
Do you think a heart rate monitor is useful with resistance training?
I mean, it can be. Any data you're going to collect on yourself can be useful. Are you going to use that data? Right? Is there some reason why you need a heart rate monitor where you're trying to get this data? That's the question, right? Because, if you run an EKG and then you have an abnormal EKG, they're going to want to put one of these heart rate monitors on you for 2 weeks. I know, because me and Shreesh just went to the cardiologist because we were going to get some of these tests run, like echocardiograms and all that. And she had something different when they wanted to put this on her for like 2 weeks. So, if you need to put it on you and there's some abnormality that's going on in the body, or you've went to a cardiologist physician and they say, hey, listen, you need to put this on, then that might be a useful thing, because you're going to have to need to see what's going on. But in resistance training, I mean, I guess you can see where your heart rate's at and all that. I mean, it's good information. Any information is good information when you're collecting, especially when you're training like that. And we have more technology than ever to be able to take all this information, whether it's your Apple iWatch or your Fitbit or a heart monitor. I mean, I've seen a lot of different things. I know Apple very shortly will hopefully, they're in a big fight with it right now. We'll be able to look at your heart rate. It'll be able to give you an EKG through the watch, and it'll be able to tell you your sugar levels through a watch. This is without sticking, without blood. That's crazy. So hopefully we get that tech here very shortly.
I know we have on this new program, Total Recall, we're hitting reps at 12s. And so when you're doing deadlift for 12 or squats for 12, it's just interesting for me. I got the watch. It's just interesting to me to where my heart rate goes to, and then how long it takes for me to recover on those exercises. And I think if you can be patient in the gym, I recommend letting your heart rate come all the way back down before doing the next set.
Sure.
So it comes in handy in that sense. And then I think, I think you can do it. And if you like, I'm a note taker. I like notes. I like trying things, and it's fun for me to see how long it takes me to get my heart rate back down after we're doing 4 sets of 12 with 500. It's like, okay, are we doing another set, or am I going to the hospital?
I mean, that's the thing, right? You don't want your heart rate to get too high. I know, like, if people are like trying to burn a lot of calories while they're training, they're supersetting through, they're not taking breaks, they're going from one exercise to the next. That's fine. But I mean, listen, if you want to get stronger and you want to have really, really good sets, Mike has a great point. You need to have enough rest time to do that. And you'll see, right? Like, if you do a set, I did dumbbell press the other day. I did 90 pounds. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to the hundreds next. And I gave myself at least a minute and a half where, you're not as restricted as far as blood flow because you're not as pumped, right? You just didn't get done with the set. And you're giving enough time to recover to the sense of where you're going to be able to get another good set of reps in. Because if you don't, and let's say you only wait 20 seconds, you're probably not going to get as good of a set than you would if you rested a minute and a half to 2 minutes. And it just all depends on how much you need, right? And that's something you should look at your watch. And that's something where the heart monitor can really tell you, hey, listen, this is where you need to be at, and this is how much time you need in between sets. And then you just start looking at your watch. And honestly, over time, if you do this and you're in there all the time, you're very consistent, you'll probably recover a lot faster.
It's funny you say that, because I think people move through weightlifting much too fast. And I don't think they realize it, especially if they don't have workout partners. They do their set and they sit down, and then 20 seconds, 30 seconds in today's world is a long time if you're not on the phone or doing something, and you're like, okay, 45 seconds, I'll do another set.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing I say, that take the time in between and recover, so you can go that 90, then go to the 100, then maybe 110.
Right.
Because again, for me, I like the fact that you're getting a compounded 4 sets with that kind of weight, instead of the guy that's moving so quick and he goes 90, 70, 50, 20.
No,
and it's
man.
like, but I'm fatigued. It's like, but it's weightlifting spelt differently.
Yeah.
So,
You want to progressively go up, not down. Up.
Like Kelly today. Kelly took my training partner, crushed me today.
Really?
Yeah, crushed me. Shoulder day is his big day. He's 360 pounds, so he's happy. He's like, I got you today. Which I love. I love it.
That way, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
How much stretching do you guys do per day, especially after hard strength training?
This is where I fall short, guys. I don't stretch enough. I stretch like, hey.
Johnny does some stretching.
All right, let's go. Let's go. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing, right? I mean,
he's partner stretching later with some good hip motion.
Yeah. I'm doing that with Sharice later on in the bedroom. But at that point, I mean, listen, I think stretching is essential. I think that's the biggest part, and one of the biggest things that I'm missing out on right now is mobility. And stretching, like if you lift and you train real hard, you're going to tighten up. Like you're going to tighten up. Your muscles are going to tighten. Everything's going to tighten. And this is kind of where massage comes into play. Stretching comes into play. Taking those hot jacuzzi baths, loosen up those muscles too as well. I think that's a big one with like Epsom salt too if you want to do it in a bathtub. But I think that, stretching is key. Foam rolling. Like I wasn't a big foam roller ever. But I've seen Peter do it with his legs and stuff like that. And I've seen a ton of these other athletes do it. And listen, it gives them great benefits. So, I think that all those things are very beneficial. And I think that you're going to have a more healthier body if you're more mobile, flexible, and able to stretch.
Agreed. I stretch every day in the exercises that I'm doing. And so there'll always be a fascia exercise at the end of my training. So
Yeah.
you guys know the fascia is what it's the sac that holds the muscle. And if you can get the fascia to open,
Yeah.
you have more room for the muscle. And so that's why flies were created. They open up
Sure.
the dips, a
Yeah.
good sumo deadlift or something. So whatever exercise, like today was shoulders. So it was just opening it up and coming all the way back and open up that shoulder so I can keep moving it. I think it's great. I agree with Johnny. Stretch. Keep your flexibility. If you have to keep, right behind strength, keep as strong as you possibly can, but flexibility is a key element to longevity.
It really is. I mean, I can still touch my toes. I can still sit on the ground, grab my feet and all that. So thank God I can still do that. But, like there's certain things like when you get bigger and you have more muscle, like if I do it with my left hand, because my shoulder is gone, but you should be able to touch like the middle of your back on both of these ends. Like there's different things that they say, like, this is what you should standardly be able to do. And, I can't do that no more. I can barely do parade rest with the back of my arms. It's crazy.
Last time I touched my toes was at a P. Diddy party. So that's
the freak offs.
Too soon? Too soon?
Not
Yeah. Why was I touching my toes?
I love it. I love it.
Little Johnson & Johnson oil layup.
Does BPC help with mobility?
Ooh.
Is what?
Hold on there. This is a great one.
I feel like I've read online, of course, that BPC can help with like mobility and like your flexibility in the joints.
As far as taking down inflammation and being able to do that, so like when I shoot in the mornings, I have more mobility in my shoulder. It's real stiff and feels like pinched. And then when I take the shot, that's when I'm like, oh, cool. I got a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more mobility. The inflammation's down. I think that's the real key to that. But yeah, game changer for me, for sure. Like I'm still lifting, like everything like that, which is, it's kind of crazy. I mean, just even benching. When I'm in there benching, like these young trainers come up to me in Lifetime. They're like, man, that's pretty good. Like you need a spot and stuff like that. I was like, no. And I'll tell them like, yeah, I need a total shoulder replacement. Like, you need a total shoulder replacement? You're benching like that? I'm like, yeah. And I don't get no pain because I'm doing good form. I'm making sure my elbows are really tight in. When you start flaring out and stuff like that, that's when you start putting more stress on there. So as long as I stay tight like that, then I'm pretty good to go lifting wise. I think the most pain that I get shoulder wise is when I sleep on my shoulders during nighttime. And that's when I wake up and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the old I must have 5 pillows, big pillows.
Yeah.
I crowd them under, over, side. I'm a pretty good sleeper. I don't know how Mona and Titan are straight face down. And I'm like, how are you sleeping like that?
I used to be a stomach sleeper and sleep on my side like this. But after I broke my collarbone, you had to sleep on your back. You can't sleep on your side or anything like that. Now I try to like get at least on one of my sides, but I have a whole bunch of pillows too. I have like 6 pillows and I like get on the pillow so my shoulder doesn't slip out at night, so I'll just go on there and leave it up. But yeah, I think that's key too. Comfortability in your bed that's key for sure.
That's key.
Johnny has to go.
I know. A couple more questions before Johnny. Johnny's got to head off. And I am correct that Peter's varsity.
Yes.
So the chances here is we got a 3-year Letterman coming.
Yes, he's starting today.
I love it.
I'm pumped. First game of the year, man. I'm like, this is awesome. This is great. So
I am
well tonight.
I'm pumped for you, man. This kid, I want to see. Please send video, whatever you get.
I will. I promise.
All right. What do we got here?
All right. It says, hi, Mike. I'm 17 years old, suffering from permanent dryness side effects from Accutane. It severely ruined my mental health and confidence. Do you have any advice? So I've taken Accutane, guys. I think it's a hell of a drug. It works phenomenally. Like if you have acne and you can't get rid of your acne, Accutane will get rid of it. The negative side effects to Accutane, it will severely dry you out. I'm talking to the point where like I had to carry around chapstick with me 24/7, apply it all day, every day. Because if not, if you smiled, did anything, your lips cracked and you bled. The other negative side effect is it could affect the liver. It could be hitting the liver. So they usually blood test you when you're on Accutane, but usually you stay on Accutane for about 6 months. Now, I would say if you have the permanent dryness side effect from Accutane, you're going to want to start looking at different lotions to apply. When you say you have severely ruined my mental health and confidence, is this because you're so dry in your face, or what is going on as far as that goes? Because you're going to want to use a lotion, and then you're going to want like a sensitive skin lotion, apply that, and then you're going to want to apply like chapstick, and you're going to want to carry that thing around with you all the time. But when you're done with your Accutane protocol, everything should probably go back to normal. And at that point, like, you won't deal with any of this dryness effect that you had being on Accutane.
Did you do it when you were going through puberty, or is it after? Or
I did it. No,
that's when I did it.
I did it when I was like 20 years old.
You were 20, so you were a late bloomer.
20.
Yeah.
I had acne a little bit, like growing up and stuff like that, but then I started getting it like on my back and my shoulders. I'm like, what? And I wasn't taking any tests or anything back then, so there wasn't anything like, oh, this is hormone related. Like,
right.
So, and I didn't know what I know now. So at that point, like, I went to the dermatologist, like, listen, Accutane. My dad had really bad acne back in the day, whatever. So I just attribute to that. And he put me on Accutane, and I was like, all right, cool. And then at that point, like, literally like 6 months later, he took me off Accutane, and everything was great. But during those 6 months, I don't know what that dryness is like. And I was just talking to one of our other people about it today, because they were on Accutane inside the office, and we were just comparing, how it was for them to us. And it happens to everybody, that dryness effect. And that is why your skin is like that. It's why it clears up, because there's nothing in there as far as that goes, oil wise or anything else.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you took Accutane?
I did. I did going through the late stages of puberty because again, acne in school and stuff. And so I'm just thinking back to, I did come off it. And I tried to just really make sure the nutrition was on point, which helped at that stage too. But
Absolutely.
acne is one of those things that's guaranteed for when you're going through those developmental years. So I hear you, kiddo. Try to keep the diet as clean as you can. And as soon as your skin is cleared up and stuff, if you can, maybe go off and see how your body is reacting at that point.
Absolutely. Like
Thank
I said,
you for the question, kiddo.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was definitely a good one. And listen, when you're 18, Type Medical Center can help you 18 years and up if you guys are looking for help in any of these situations or scenarios that we're talking about.
I need a banger, Jeffrey.
Gotcha. Thank you, Brian. How do you ensure long-term joint health by lifting heavy, and what preventative measures would you recommend? Well, I think Mike is the golden child of this one, because he probably has the best joints for his age than anybody I know personally, especially me. My joints are shot. So, at that point, to ensure long-term joint health, I don't know. I start making sure those connective tissues are warmed up and they're getting stronger, along with the muscle that you're building, because muscle is going to get bigger and stronger faster than those tendons or joints are going to get. So at that point, you need to focus on that. Preventative measures, from my stance, like I said, start small, go heavier, and BPC 157 and TB 500. That is what I recommend for anybody out there as a preventative or to treat acute or chronic pain. So wherever you lie, if you're preventative and you don't have any pain, this would be a good thing to do, especially when you're asking about preventative measures. The next thing would be, like I said, the preventative measures. And then at that point, if you have chronic or acute pain, this is going to help too.
I think Johnny hit it out of the park. And just for anybody that's on here, there's a lot of talk about rep range for building muscle. You're going to be able to lift for a lifetime if you think about not just your muscle, but everything else attached to it. Mileage is mileage. So at the end of the day, if you're going in there doing 30 reps on everything with 10 pounds, you're just putting mileage on there. There's a couple studies, Wolff's Law and Davis Law. So Wolff's Law is the study of making your bones superhuman, and Davis Law is the study of connective tissue and ligaments, making it stronger. And both come from the breaking down and making them stronger as you continue forward in your training. And so that was one of the main principles on my power bodybuilding and why I've been able to do this for so long. And also, it's just go into the gym, do the least amount of work possible, still get better, But don't be one of these guys that I train 3 hours and I kick everybody's ass in the gym. Great. It doesn't work that way.
It's too much, man.
It's too
much.
much. And too much. It's not it doesn't hype us up.
No,
It-
gotta
what
work
hype-
smarter, not harder.
Yeah, this is a chess
Yeah.
match. Don't play checkers.
Yeah.
And speaking of games, Johnny's got to go. He's
Yeah.
got something to do. Man, thank you, Johnny. We'll hit up again
Thank you,
this
guys.
week, man. Send me
Of course.
video.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And I definitely will, man. So hopefully people will go kick some butt. If anybody
Get
needs our
outta
help, you can call or text 727-389-3220. Therapy of the week, Testosterone. Brand new
What the-
peptide therapy, oral
What?
therapy, weight loss therapy. Comes in 2 different versions, 250 micrograms, 500 micrograms. What does it do for you, right? It's going to make you happier. It's going to help curb your cravings for salty or sugary items. And it's also going to create more energy expenditure. That's right. Testosterone. You can complement your semaglutide, tirzepatide, or any other weight loss therapy or any other therapy with this. The only contraindication, the big one, is if you're on antidepressants, this is not going to be a good therapy for you. If you're not on antidepressants, this is probably going to be a good therapy, and it will complement any of the other therapies that are on with us. So everybody's looking for new weight loss, $25 off the therapy package. The 250 micrograms is $200. The 500 micrograms is $300. So you get almost double the medication for only $100 more. I try to make it a deal so people would want to get the higher dose to get better results. That's how I'm gonna leave you guys.
That's how you. That was the banger right there, guys. There's the website right there, TitanMedicalCenter.com. Get on over there, get signed up today, and touch base with them. And we'll see you guys. Johnny, have a good game.
I appreciate it. Puff Daddy's on. He says, Johnny, I'll see you at the party. I'm not seeing no puffy parties. No Diddy for me. No Diddy. Bye, guys.